This is about the world of cryonics. Let me know if the balance is okay. All right. Motherboard.
So behind this stainless steel.
Man, Josh and I watched this a few years ago. We were both drinking. It was so much fun.
There are patients.
Yeah, they call them patients. They're like, yeah, these are patients, because it sounds much better than saying, yeah, there's just a bunch of dead people in these vats.
One day it will be normal medicine.
Yeah.
There's a huge potential for this to grow.
You know, I just want to yell at the entire world, don't you get it? You're going to die.
I actually did physically hold my father's brain in my hands.
Oh my God. We should go to their website. It's not that expensive. It's really not. Did Josh compare it to Vault-Tec? I don't think we talked about it, but we did talk about, because insurance is wild. Because, like, technically you're dead, but something about life insurance, and if you come back, you can't get, I don't know. It was legally pretty complicated.
The idea of reanimating
Is
heads
the,
or bodies in a century
Is the balance
is
okay?
wishful thinking.
I want to live until tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to want to live until the day after tomorrow, and I believe that this desire will continue indefinitely.
It's creepy. Yeah. Frozen faith. I mean, that's what it is. It's just this, you know, desire for immortality. It's just, well.
Welcome to the Oregon Cryonics ribbon cutting ceremony for our newly remodeled facility.
Are those the investors? I bet it is. Look at this woman. This dude with a cane. Oh, man.
We finally have a working clinic, a solid foundation for the future. This day's been a long time coming.
Oh,
and
God.
we're so glad to have you here to see it.
Let's see. I'm sure the people 100, 200 years will all appreciate the little enterprise and its legacy. Oh, sure. Sure.
Okay, let's get started with the ribbon.
That's so depressing, dude. There's like 8 people there. What are we going to do with these? Probably good jerky. Look at this dude wearing his ghost shirt.
Ribbon cutting. 1, 2, 3.
Have you ever wondered what a room full of cryonicists looks like?
If anybody has mud on their feet of any kind, we have try to shake it off, or we have
Yeah, just shake the mud off. It's fine. Just, you know, put a little mat.
booties if there's too much.
Some booties.
In Salem, Oregon, we were on hand for...
Yeah, that's right, Hovenal. I would totally open up one of these. I mean, the worst thing is you just have to keep a bunch of dead people hanging around. I mean, you don't even have to do anything, bro. Like, it's like the whole job's just waiting. I mean, it's not like you're on a deadline. I mean, that's the great thing. There is no deadline. It's like, well, you know, it could be next year or it could be in 500 years, but, you know, we'll just keep this going through like war and power outages and all that stuff. I mean, you know.
The opening of the
no
newest
complaints.
Cryonics Institute in the U.S.
I can do this all day.
Cryonics is the practice of storing a recently deceased person at low temperatures in the hopes that they can live again when future technology enables them to be healed and reanimated.
This is what we would use out in the field.
Yeah,
I've come here to see
I
what
mean,
the buzz is about.
this has been going on for a long time. I mean, immortality. I mean, this is what it's all about.
To see if freezing people and then reanimating them decades or centuries in
Look at this.
the future is scientifically feasible.
How'd you feel about cutting that ribbon?
I really have been working hard for this.
Jordan,
third
wait, Dr. Jordan Sparks? Isn't Jordan Sparks that singer? I think it is.
Cryonics company. Hopefully we'll have as many.
It's not possible? I don't know, Rav. Watch the video. Talk to Dr. Sparks.
Patients as the others someday. This is just a barely functional facility right now.
It's barely functional, but it's functional.
There is so much more we could do.
Like many scientific innovations, cryonics has its
Won't there be permanent cell damage? Amos. bro, they're gonna fix that. And don't worry about the first people they froze and all the freezer burn and all of that. You're gonna get a new body when you get resurrected. It's like it's science, Ameth. Come on. It literally breaks Ameth. Don't know. You can get more patients after. Yeah.
Its roots in
Plenty of
science fiction.
yeah.
In 1931, sci-fi pulp magazine Amazing
Yeah,
Stories.
see, this is freaking old. And it goes, I mean, not even to 1921, but way older.
Published the Jameson satellite. It told the tale of a professor who, driven by an obsession with preserving his body, after death, shot himself into the deep freeze of outer space. 40 million years later, he's revived by an alien race who've achieved immortality.
That's right, Rev.
By transplanting their brains into
But see, like, the pessimist in me would be like, okay, you paid all this money, you get revived, right? 200 years in the future, you're not going to know anything. You are going to be so helpless. You're going to be so weak. Worst case scenario, they throw you in some old folks home and not take care of you. Or best case scenario, I bet that's what happens. Worst case scenario, you're a freaking slave. You're like subhuman at that point. You're one of these freaks that, you know, was frozen and you don't know anything. And they're just like, they may do experiments on you, or you wake up and the whole world's taken over by lizards or freaking dolphins. You know what I mean? It gets wild. You think about it. People are like, oh, it's going to be so great. I don't know. You're going to find a way to repair, fix a bad like Avatar upload from, yeah, maybe.
mechanical bodies. The story planted a seed.
Yeah, assuming they even bother to wake you up. Right. Or they probably just use you for some, I mean, like, nobody's going to know you. They'll contact your great niece or something and be like, yeah, Uncle Hovenala, we have the means to revive him, but due to inflation and government overreach, we're going to need a little support from you. Can he move in and live with you? It's like, nah, bro. You know?
In the mind of a young Robert Ettinger in 1962. Obsessed with low temperature preservation of the human body, he self-published the book The Prospect of Immortality. Popular sci-fi writer Isaac Asimov put his support behind the
that's
book,
the guy.
which led to international publication in
What was it called? What was that book he wrote about the picnic?
fame for Ettinger. In its wake, organizations
is
and
that the
companies
name?
began to take shape, and the cryonics movement was born.
Look at that. Man, it's like a baked potato. He's getting baked, bro. See, Amos, that's what they do. That's how they protect you. You're worried about breaking. Nah, bro. They wrap you in this, and they freeze you. It's fine. Look, Dr. James Bedford, first cryopreserve. He's a doctor, Amos. Are you a doctor? I know.
In the Arizona desert, Alcor has been the leading cryonics organization for years. We're at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation. We're going to see over 130 patients who are frozen in the middle of the desert.
There's 130 frozen dead people in that building. The amazing tinfoil protects you from freeze damage until that. Yes. You're Mr. Dr. Captain. That's right.
Nice to meet you.
It says no soliciting. Oh, man.
Meet you.
I met with Dr. Max Moore, CEO of Alcor.
So this is the front office area. All the interesting stuff happens down here. Death is not so.
Oh, man. How cool would it be like, we're just preserving the body now. Come on in. And you get to see it happen.
Thing you should accept. It's not natural. It's not sacrosanct. Really, it's our responsibility to use our intelligence, whether you think it's from evolution or God-given, to solve this problem. Technology will keep improving, and that eventually we will have those capabilities to restore you.
Alcor was founded in 1972. Today, it has over 1,000 members.
Oh.
And are these photos of actual patients?
Patience.
Public.
The patients have patience, Hovanala. All right.
Patients with quite a variety.
As we entered Alcor's facility,
They should work and go. Yeah, they froze a cat. Wait, what? Bro, no way.
And are these photos of actual patients? Public.
Oh my God. Oh, vanilla. Look at that. Someone froze their cat. Wow. Someone's going to have to take care of that cat, bro. God. Milk walks into one of those facilities. How much for 3D printed meats? Oh, jeez. You can't even, like,
Patients
does it say a name?
with quite a variety.
As we entered Alcor's facility, it began to resemble the set of a science fiction film, complete with operating rooms, surgical gear,
What was
and vast
that?
amounts of liquid nitrogen.
This
Yeah.
is where we store all our patients. This whole area, by the way, is reinforced.
I wonder if they'll open them up. I don't remember.
We've got bulletproof glass. We've got metal plates in the walls, just to give as much protection
Bulletproof glass? What are they? Like, what's going on?
as possible to our patients. We have
Yeah, they had a dog,
134
too.
patients in here right now, with 4 whole bodies and several neuro patients in each one of these.
4 whole bodies and several neuro patients within in each one of those little tubes. So 4 bodies and several heads. But raw. All right. Would y'all go for freezing the whole body or freezing the head? I think that the head's cheaper. I would do the head, I think. Because you don't want an old body. Like, your muscles will be like, I think just the head. Because, I mean, you're like, if this works, I feel like the head would be less complicated to try to bring back. And if it doesn't work, it's less pain, probably. Maybe just mental anguish. I don't know. How about an underground vault? Well, it's Arizona. I don't know. You don't want your pain? That's a good point. I don't know if it'll fit in one of these tubes. I don't know if they have that much nitrogen. Imagine the makeup costing a reanimated head. Yeah, just like a clown. Oh, God.
We have a lot more patients coming in.
The cryonics community refers to these frozen bodies as patients, because according to them, they're not really dead. They're in suspended animation.
This is so religion. This is such a religion, man.
Waiting to be revived.
Why cryonics? Or why should someone have it done to themselves?
My fundamental reason for wanting to do cryonics, if all else fails, is that I like living, and I see no reason to accept an arbitrary limit to that. Cryonics is an extension of emergency medicine, the way I see it.
It's suspended
People who
animation,
stop
yeah.
breathing, the heart stop beating. When you've done the best you can, there's nothing more you can do with today's medical
Whoa. Is that somebody?
technology.
It is.
Give them to us. We're going to protect their cells as well as we can and just drop them to a very, very low temperature.
Oh my
They can wait
God.
then for decades or even centuries if necessary until technology has reached a level where it can repair the damage done to them by the aging process, by the disease itself, and by the cryonics process.
I met Aaron Drake, Alcor's medical response director, who explained to us how this operation works.
All right, let's check it out. This does not look like, I mean, look at this. That doesn't look safe. I mean, I don't know. And they got a bungee cord keeping this thing. He's like, this isn't the best facility. We could do a lot more, but I mean, clearly, it's a clear coffin. Yeah. The yellow bungee cord looks very high tech. Yeah. I don't know. Neurons. That's right, Eamon. That's right.
How many times have you done this procedure?
Alcor's done this 134 times. I've been involved in 49 of them.
Yeah, they've done it 134 times. I've done it twice.
And this is where it would happen, right?
Right here.
Everyone else got arrested.
The body would be right in there.
Yeah.
Could I go inside of that container?
What?
You could.
All right, let's
Oh,
get into this
oh,
thing.
oh, God.
There you go. That's not so bad.
As Aaron secured the lid, I gained a first-hand view of an Alcor patient.
Bro. Have y'all ever been in a coffin? I've lain in a coffin before. Have y'all? Casket.
Don't do that.
The guiding principle of the preservation process is called vitrification, a procedure intended to prevent our bodies from freezing and our cells from
There you go, Amos. See?
crystallizing.
We do a conventional surgical procedure called a thoracotomy, where we basically open up the chest, access the heart, and use the body's plumbing, the arteries, the veins, to not only remove the blood of the vascular system, but all the fluids of the body. We're going to flush in a medical-grade antifreeze. Our bodies are maybe 60 to 70% water. If that went below the freezing temperature, it would freeze. It would crystallize.
That's true. That's what happens to water.
Destroys the cells.
It destroys cells.
Amos, are you paying attention? He's talking about your question.
Y'all are gonna kill me, and I'm your next cryo experiment.
They're not going to kill you. They will suspend you.
Finally, the patient is immersed in a liquid nitrogen tank at minus 380 degrees Fahrenheit, where they await their theoretical resurrection.
Ah. Ooh, look, Eve Online.
This game, you're not ready for it.
So right now, we can do the first
Oh,
part. We can
right.
minimize-
Joe's back. Joe's back. Good, 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 good. I was like, man, Joe needs to be here for this. So as a resident biologist, no. The answer is no. Yep. Yep. I'm telling you, Surefire started this. He was like, they found a way to reverse aging in rats. And I'm like, I mean, maybe. But I was like, epigenetics isn't really my thing. I said, where's Joe? So we're watching Alcor about freezing people.
The damage, we can keep improving that process, but we don't know a whole lot about the revival end.
Yeah, we'll freeze you. We don't know a whole lot about the revival. Just trust us, bro.
Here's a lingering question.
I love it. I mean, there's no deadline. Like, it's like it could be next week, 200 years, you know.
You made it.
I made it.
And you resuscitated.
I'm resuscitated.
What will it take to...
Have you not seen these giant cylindrical vats? It's a perfect temperature. They just need to flush out the antifreeze and replace it with motor oil. Why motor oil? Any lower and it'll cause crystal formation. Did you miss the thing, Joe? They just talked about that. Listen.
prevent our bodies from view of an Alcor patient?
See? Listen, Joe. Maybe you'll learn something.
Don't do that.
The guiding principle of the preservation process is called vitrification, a procedure intended to prevent our bodies from freezing and our cells from crystallizing.
Uh-huh.
We do a conventional surgical procedure called a thoracotomy, where we basically open up the chest, access the heart, and use the body's plumbing, the arteries, the veins, to not only remove the blood out of the vascular system, but all the fluids of the body.
Joe.
We're going to flush in a medical-grade antifreeze. Our bodies are...
They pump your body full of antifreeze, and that saves your life. You see? Yeah, epigenetics. See, I knew it's like inherited, right? That's why I was like, what does epigenetics have to do with like a single person aging? Because I did well, I don't want to get into it, but I don't know. Drinking antifreeze. No, you don't want to drink it. They pump it directly into your veins, Hovenala. You don't drink it.
Maybe 60 to 70.
Because we did a research project on the epigenetics. Well, I don't want to get too much into what it was, but basically, let's just say, inherited. We'll say anxiety. And again, this wasn't my area. I was just on a thing. Anyway, it was a research thing. It destroys a vasculature over time because of pressure. See, you're thinking too much about it, man. They're gonna fix all that, and I think they say it later. They're like, look, if we screwed this up a little bit, in the future, they're gonna be able. They'll fix it. They'll just buff that out. Thanks, Brahms. Oh, Stacy's back. The salt helped a ton. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. We're talking about freezing your body when you die. There are conflicting research regarding epigenetics being inherited. Yeah, some say no, others say yeah. Yeah, and the research project we were doing, I mean, it basically led us to that. And again, I'm not a science person. I was just on this thing for a reason. Anyway, yeah, Stacy's back. You're going to hit the sack? All right. Bye, Martin. I was hoping to, I'm part of a multi-level marketing, and I'm trying to get some of y'all to sign up for Alcor. I get a 10% kickback. I'm gonna pitch it later. Maybe Alcor can sponsor my stream. Wouldn't that be neat? Brought to you by Alcor. Let's see. I missed a message. Oh crap. 200 years later, Brahms is revived. Checks DMs. 2 million messages from Amos in his reincarnation. When you go stream, bro? Oh man. Yeah. What if someone went in there like, yeah, just wake me up when GTA 6 comes out. I saw on Reddit they were like, bro, I think GTA 7 is gonna come out before GTA 6. I said maybe. Yeah. All right. Yeah, welcome back.
70% water. If that went below the freezing temperature, it would freeze. It would.
The freezing temperature is 0 Celsius, by the way. 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Crystallize.
That's when water freezes.
It destroys the cells.
It destroys cells.
Y'all are gonna kill me, and I'm your next cryo experiment.
Finally,
Joe, did you see the bungee cord on the thing?
the patient is immersed in a liquid nitrogen tank at minus 380 degrees Fahrenheit, where they await the...
Yeah, I understand that, Joe. I used to run, I may start doing it again for a BRB screen. I may run like fake ads, like old time radio ads. I used to do that, but no one really liked it a few years ago, so I hadn't brought it back. But I may rewrite. I wrote some radio ads, like I'll put it like a BRB, and it'll be like, I'll have some music going, and I'll say, today's stream is sponsored by Chesterfield cigarettes. #1 doctor recommended, something like that. And I'll just read, kind of go off. We'll see. I don't know. It's summertime. I get bored. You saw the bungee? Good. Good. Yellow means it was high tech? Yeah, could be. Ice bath. Ice baths are relaxing. Really? Between sauna? Said the Finn. You've been told you have a face for radio? I don't think so. You're not bad looking. All right, let's finish this.
their theoretical resurrection.
So right now we can do the first.
Look at this. He's checking the temperature. It's an old dude with a key ring on his belt loop, a notebook, and a Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. You don't trust this guy to keep you safe?
But we can minimize the damage. We can keep improving that process. But we don't know a whole lot about the revival end.
There is a lingering question.
You made it.
I made it.
And you resuscitated.
I'm resuscitated.
What will it take to revive?
I don't know, Amos. I mean, Hovenella, I don't know what that chain was for. Maybe they had an accident and they need a chain there now. They're worried the patients will run away. I don't think so. I think they're in there upside down, if I remember correctly.
These human popsicles.
Human popsicles. Look at that guy. Man.
No one seems to know exactly, but the possibilities are exciting.
Yeah, we don't know. The possibilities are exciting. Yeah, they are. What if the power runs out? Surefire. Don't worry about that, man. It's just a little brain damage. It's fine. You're in suspended animation. I'm sure they have generators. My thing would be like, what about war? If this is going to take 200 years, like who's going to revive you? Who's going to know you're there? Who's going to care? You wake up and become a slave? Like, dude. Or a hurricane. Well, it's in Arizona, so there won't be any hurricanes. I don't know. Time to build a vault. Well, you know.
To think about.
What we do know is we're making progress already. Regeneration of tissues, growing organs, that's very relevant to cryonics.
The most likely scenarios involve advanced bioengineering and nanotechnology.
All right, here we go.
We can certainly...
So they're going to send them little freaks in there to repair everything that they screwed up. See?
Envision nanoscopic repair devices that can go into cells, and those are on the drawing board. It doesn't violate any laws of physics. We just can't build them right now because they're very tiny devices.
Yeah, they don't have screwdrivers that little and little hammers.
These are treatments using nanorobots and synthetic enzymes that can
Well, so was the iPad, Joe.
fix and regenerate tissues.
Yeah, see, right now, of course it's science fiction, but 50 years from now, 2,000 years from now, they'll have those tiny little robots, and they'll just go in and, you know, regenerate the tissue.
Literally coding and reprinting new DNA to help create healthy cells.
The enzyme then cuts the plasmid at this specific point, allowing a new piece of DNA to be inserted.
There you go.
Reanimating a cryopreserved body requires not just the repair of vitrified tissue, but also the...
I thought there was no vitrification. Wait a minute. They can make you better. Right. No. Let's see. That looks creepy. Well, you know. Do not do that. Oh, ye of little faith. I'm sure Joe can teach the. You should show this to one of your classes, Joe. And just see how many people take it seriously. And be like, all right, what's wrong with this? It's fine. What could go wrong? Just modify the genome a little bit.
The healing of whatever illness or condition contributed to the patient's death.
Right. So you die of, say, you know, pancreatic cancer. And when they have a cure for this, they bring you back. And they cure it, you know. At the same time you lecture about incest. Yes. I'm not going into that on stream, but I see it.
First place. Malignant tumors, diseased arteries, dementia. Cryonicists are counting on cures for these kinds of illnesses before they attempt to revive their
Joe, they froze a cat. There's a cat in there.
Patients.
How long do you think it's going to be? What's your
Habsburg
bet?
chin.
What's your ballpark?
Everybody wants to know, when will patients come back? There really can't be an answer to that question
How
for a couple
convenient.
of reasons. And I'll just give a very fuzzy answer.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
say it could be between 30 years, extremely unlikely, and 150 years. Now, there really isn't an answer because different patients will come back at different times. Patients preserved with...
Yeah, here we go. The ones we really screwed up.
Earlier technologies and techniques will, on average, have received less quality treatment. There'll be more damage to their cells. It'll take more repair. We can show we are preserving tissue very effectively, and it seems no reason why patients won't be revivable at some point in the future.
Yeah, he knows. He's a doctor. Let's see. If the stem cell transplant to heal diabetes wouldn't be so risky, you would do it. These cells could still become cancer. Oh, that's a scam. Who gonna sue them? They're dead and iced. That's what I was talking to Josh about. Well, not that, but we were talking about, because he's a lawyer, and because like legally, I think you're dead, and if you had life insurance, would they pay it out? And if you come back, do you have to? Is it fraud? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of legal stuff. Logic. What's up, Logic? Man, you're in it today. Hey, everyone. Hey, Logic's here. Woo! There he is. All right. We're talking about freezing folks.
One must also consider the finances of living in one of Alcor's stainless steel capsules.
Yeah.
Despite Dr. Max
You gotta pay rent.
Moore's confidence, the mystery of patient revival will remain for quite some time.
So if I walk through this door, tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get revived, you're gonna know nothing about society. You're gonna know, like, you're atrophied. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be a burden on society. And that's what I'm saying. Best case scenario, they throw you in some asylum. Worst case, they sell you or harvest you or study you, or, lizards could have taken over. I don't know, dude. They always make you sign waivers. Oh, for sure. We'll probably check out their website after. They've got a website where you can sign up. It's not that expensive.
Say I want to do this. How much does it cost me?
If you just want to preserve the brain, it's a minimum of $80,000 for everything. For the whole body, it's $200,000 minimum. People get to choose whether public or private, but for instance, one well-known case, we have Kim Swosey, who was a young woman of 23, who had a glioblastoma, very aggressive brain cancer. We have, I think, a 101-year-old patient in here. It's about our oldest right now. We have
101. And see, if they're not dead, because they don't say they're dead, they're like in, what do they call it, suspended animation. Are they still aging? And that was like, when you wake up, how old are you? if you weren't dead? Is she still 101 or is she going to be like 301? Probably I don't know, because the definition, like, death has changed, right? Like 200 years ago, before we had all this, you know, you could say, well, they're not quite dead yet today, but whereas 200 years ago, they'd be considered dead. I don't know, man. That's wild. He thinks they have 101. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Did you play games? I did. People were complaining. We were playing ESO, but everyone was like, Brahms, uninstall ESO. Well. So I'm like, all right, fine. I didn't uninstall it. Who brought this up? Surefire started this. He was like, they were able to reverse age mice. Let's see. What do you think about stem cell transplants for diabetes? Surefire says to Joe, imagine Abe Lincoln being revived when Brahms follow me to what? Yes, follow me on TTV, Abe. Is it going well in terms of long-term results? It's so whether it works. Fishing. Yeah, I was fishing. Yeah, and I was like farming a cute cat pet, but everyone hated it. So now we're watching this ad. Oh, you would have been on your side. It's okay, Logic. It's all right. It's fine. This is fine.
Have Ted Williams.
So it's 80K. Yeah, Ted Williams. That's the guy. Which was supposed to be private. Oh. Yeah, Ted Williams is here, like frozen. Is Walt Disney frozen? Didn't they freeze him? They froze the cat. Yeah, they froze the cat. Reverse age. They lowered certain molecules associated with it. That's what I said, Joe. I was like, I don't think that they're like, I don't know. And then I did my Alex Jones impersonation. Disney was buried? Okay. I guess that was some of that
it's all fake news. Yeah. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Okay. Let's see. Ted Williams, the baseball player. Do they need any more? What? Oh no, don't say that. Maybe Elvis is there. Maybe. And Hoffa.
Which was supposed to be private back in the day, but since everybody knows that now, yes, we have Ted Williams. He's
well, how did they find out, you freak?
Probably our most famous patient currently.
Resting at a comfortable minus 300.
Bro, he's in that vat. Yes, Cheeto free zone. He told everybody to wipe their feet or just knock all the mud off.
Yeah. Last year in 2014, we did 13 cases, and that was the largest number we've ever had.
So this is almost 10 years old. They need to do an update. Maybe I'll go out there. Maybe Brahms on the scene. Beep, 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 beep. You know what I mean? Reporting live.
Medical response director keeps a watch.
You like the wiring, Havanola?
List basically of members who we know have serious medical problems, who are terminal or simply very, very old, and he keeps tabs on those. And that's one reason that we've had a very high level of success at being at the bedside at the point of clinical death, something like 85% of cases.
They're in 85% of cases, they're there when you die. Because they expect it. They said the point of clinical death. Okay. What's the take on consciousness? I don't know. They think, well, consciousness is weird. Like, I don't know. What is that? I mean, we've been asking that for thousands of years, but yeah, I don't know, dude. It doesn't like to be slowed down. You taught undergrad classes.
Alcor can also provide its members with cryopreservation.
There it is. Ido Perry, born May 1st, 1993. Cryopreserved July 14th, 2012. Look at that. Cute little guy. Oh, Logic's birthday's coming up. So was Imperial Salsa and Amos. I think all of y'all are in July. 85% chance you die, but 15% chance you live. No, the other 15, they're not there. Because they have to haul you in pretty quick once you die to start the process. Neurons require a certain level of metabolic activity. Probably have a 10% chance of survival. Well, that's better than a 0% chance. Give or take 20.
Of their pets, offering them the chance to be reunited with their furry friends.
Nice.
And if it works, that's a pretty remarkable future.
I wonder which vat the cat's in. Does he have his own vat?
and one I would certainly come back for.
These are these people's right. This is to choose. Here they're donating their body to science. People do that all the time. This is just to a particular science project. It might benefit them in the long run.
Did y'all hear about that lady who donated her body to science, and her son got a letter saying that she was used in some military like explosion test? And I was like, bro.
What does a future without certain death or terminal disease even look like? Is this an honest take on tomorrow, or is it too good to be true? Will these patients ever awaken?
That's right, Amy.
Or are they destined to remain vitrified indefinitely? Despite the beautiful possibilities my new cryonicist friends explained to me, I was starting to feel a bit skeptical of their frozen utopian dreams.
Oh, for sure, Joe. All right, who is this?
Hey, welcome to the Skeptics. Nice to meet you.
Oh, here we go. Here's the skeptics. The people, the people that don't believe, the old folks stuck in their ways. You get ashes back. Oh, dear God. Well, I guess so, yeah. You remember hearing about that? Yeah. The cats in the freezer, Brahms. Yeah. The cats in the vat. Hashtag cat vat.
Michael Shermer is the founder of Skeptic Magazine, where he investigates what he considers the more dubious claims by scientific researchers and organizations around the world.
Did he have a Jesus fish?
Hey, welcome to the Skeptics.
I like to check out people's
Michael
bookshelves.
Shermer is the founder of Skeptic Magazine.
Bro, he's got a Jesus fish, but with his last name. Whoa. That's hilarious. Man. You got another tornado? Oh, Iowa did. You're in Iowa. Yeah. Had to check. Are they okay? What's the Jesus fish? So this little symbol's a Jesus fish. You know, fishers of men, that type of thing. And it usually says Jesus in the middle or nothing. But this dude's like, I'm gonna put my name in the middle. It's like having a crucifix with you on it instead of Jesus. T-Dog was talking today, or sometime after his trial, he was like, they literally crucified these people. And I'm like, he would be the person to have himself on a crucifix. Be like, look what they did to me. Maybe it's just a fish. I don't know. You've been thinking about what to do? You take them to a vet? That's, when they die. I've never had that happen where I've like lived, but I know when I was little, like if, you know, your cat died or whatever, you just kind of go bury it in the yard and put a little, we had a couple of dogs pass away, and we buried them in the yard, and we got a little headstone and put it out there. They're, you know, still out there now. But most recently, my cat that died a few years ago, she had been sick a while. Y'all, I took her to a freaking cat cardiologist. All right. Like, bro. Anyway, they were like, nah, Brahms, there's nothing we can do. Anyway, long story short, they were just like, keep her comfortable. And she lived a little while, but it just got real bad one day. I mean, she was just so pitiful. So I took her to the vet, and, you know, they were like, yeah, I think it's time. So, you know, they did that. And then they had a, little service that they would do. They would keep her, obviously, but they sent her to a place to cremate, and they cremated her, and I got her in a little box of ashes with a little plaque. Yeah, poor little thing. That was a good cat. Okay. A soap fact. Oh my God. That's horses. All right.
Where he investigates what he considers the more dubious claims.
Let's see. American Apocalypse. Who wrote that? Is that Graham Hancock? What else does he have here?
Claims by scientific research.
Let's see. What's he got? Piece of blue sky. Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard, yeah. That's classic. Quantum Man. The Quotable Hitchens. Alcohol and Zionism. There we go. Can't read that today, probably. Huh.
Researchers and organizations around.
Oh, it's glue? That's right. The glue factory, right. Beyond the brain.
Around the world.
My skeptical alarm goes off when I hear it. It sounds too much like religion. The cryonics is kind of like a scientific search for immortality.
I did one on cryonics. Can science cheat death?
But do you think it's possible? They're very upfront saying, look, we can't reanimate yet. But in 100 years, we probably will be able to. Do you think that's wishful thinking?
Today, the idea of reanimating heads or bodies in a century or 2 or 5 is wishful thinking, because we don't even know if in principle how you could reanimate a brain. We know roughly where memories are stored and kind of how they're stored, but we still don't know the basis of consciousness.
Yeah, right. Oh. Hero Wars. Oh, oh, God. I don't think we'll play that.
We're going to conquer the technology of bringing it back after it's gone. That's wishful thinking at the moment. Probabilities are so slim that you're better off focusing on something like, just cure heart disease or cancer or something like that. Extend the quality of life into the 90s, 100. That has a better hope. It's not just me. I mean, most scientists are skeptical of cryonics.
Now we're in Boston to talk to some scientists who research extreme temperatures. We're going
Okay.
to talk to them about cryonics.
Maybe Joe's in here.
We look at the effect of freezing.
Amos, you still with us?
Of freezing on cells, tissues. How it happens is fundamental whether or not a tissue or a cell will survive the freezing process. I'm a cryobiologist. I have worked on this problem for 32 years.
Could you explain?
Working on it for 32 years and hadn't solved it. I don't know, man. You want my consciousness put into a video game? Well, as long as it's not Metal Gear. See, I wonder if you figured that out. If you can upload it to some thing and you can talk or your great-great-great-grandchildren to be able to talk to you through a computer or a chat bot or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of streaming. If I were to die, y'all would still have preserved me that you can go back and watch. I know Amos would do that. All right, here we go, Amos.
To me, what happens when you freeze an organ?
80% of human cells are mostly water.
Yes.
So when you bring water below freezing temperature, 0 degree, ice forms, and that's damaging. So to prevent ice formation, what we do is we add lots of other things into the cells that basically prevents water molecules to find each other to form ice.
Dr. Toner is a leading expert in cryoprotectants, substances engineering to act at a cellular level to deter formation of ice. Cryoprotectants aren't just for scientists.
Huh.
Some Arctic fish and frogs have proteins.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. And I am no scientist, but, there are some animals that have, for whatever reason, in their biology, in their nature, have this thing, or there's those little shrimp that live at the lava vents on the bottom of the ocean, thousands of degrees, but they live there. They just chill out, They're like, it's a little hot today. It's quite amazing. You keep getting caught. Oh. So we download our brain into a toad and get frozen? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what they're saying. I think maybe you can coat yourself in that toad skin. You can get a bunch of toads, cut off their skin, and surround your body, mummify yourself in their skin. Maybe we should bring that up to Alcor. I'll write them an email. They have adaptations that allow for better tolerances. What do you mean? You really have to watch the Saturn V, Saturn V. Truly Window of the American GG. We could watch it sometime. I just don't know what I would say, because I would just be like, yeah, that's amazing. Wait, who feels bad for Joe? Oh, having to watch this with us. You have not. Stop it. Just enjoy it. You may learn something, Joe. Anyway.
That protect them from extreme cold. Antifreeze is used in cars and to de-ice airplane wings. What Dr. Toner can
Well, if it works in cars and airplane wings, obviously, that's why they inject it into your veins.
Show us is that preserving human tissue, a few cells at a time, is possible. However, preserving the whole biological human structure of the whole human body is extremely difficult.
What about it doesn't work?
There are many things that doesn't work with the idea of freezing a whole head. Number one, you can only...
This dude, Dr. Toner, been working over 30 years on this. He's like, there's many problems with freezing a whole head. He's thinking to himself, oh my God, what is this? Am I this desperate for interviews? Oh man, didn't someone drink antifreeze? Probably. You hope to visit that place in Alabama. It's in Arizona, Amos. Oh, you mean Huntsville. Your pathology background is having problems with this, but it's interesting. Well, don't let that stop you. Gonna be a long night. Oh no, is she still awake?
Slowly freeze and slowly warm large things. Ice is gonna form inevitably during warming.
Yeah, I thought you meant Alcor. Yeah, Huntsville's in Alabama. We went there last summer, actually. We drove out to Texas and we stopped in Huntsville. That's a really cool little town.
Not only does the cooling effect wreak havoc on cells, but the warming process also causes stress and fractures as the tissue undergoes a dynamic shift.
This is our lab benches where we do most of our experiments.
We're trying to optimize various types of cryoprotectants.
God, you can tell she's such a grad student.
So this is a combination of two commonly used cryoprotectants. So let's plunge it into liquid nitrogen.
Something is being simmered.
Yeah. So now it's completely cooled.
Look at that styrofoam. That's where I keep
and
my...
when I bring it up, you
oh.
can see this really nice glass, this clear that's formed.
I bet that will make a good martini. You just like pop a martini glass in liquid nitrogen.
And then as it's warming, now you can start to see that transition into more of an opaque.
It's ice.
It's ice forming, exactly.
Even this tiny small sample, which is a tiny fraction of the whole human head, ice is inevitably will form in it.
What did it prove or disprove?
All right, so here's what we learned. You take water, you put it in liquid nitrogen, which is cold, it freezes. That's interesting. Oh, she's going to the beach. That sounds nice.
Prove if we're referring to it in terms of cryonics.
What we showed was that even in a small volume, you get this recrystallization that happens, and that sort of propagates really quickly through the solution and essentially just kills cells.
So mushy brain.
So mushy brain, yeah.
The human body has over 100 cell types.
100 cell
each with a different
types.
structure and function from one organ or tissue to the next. A one-size-fits-all solution means that a cryoprotectant will be effective across the entire range of cell types.
That's what they called them. They said human popsicles.
Currently, this is not considered possible because the chemicals might protect one cell type.
What does that do? Joe, you still there? What does this do when they're like tumbling crap?
Will be effective across the entire range of cell types.
Like this right here. Watch it.
Currently, this is not considered possible.
That. What does that do? They just spinning that around. Did they need to spend some grant money? And sometimes you have the thing that's shaking it up real fast.
Because the chemicals might protect one cell type and may damage everything else. Therefore, cryopreserving the cells of just a kidney might work. But if you want to preserve a body or a head, cryopreservation becomes exponentially difficult.
I bet serial killers would be good at this. You know what I mean? Because they got that, like, they got that spark for, I don't know. I bet you serial killers would be really good at, would make good cryologists. Is that what they're called? It keeps everything in solution. Oh, I see. Gotcha. If you keep static, it's set them. Gotcha. Makes sense.
So if we take a look at them, what we see is they're nice spherical cells.
Me too, Stacy. I get
maybe
that.
a 90 to 95% survival rate, which is pretty good.
That is
now,
pretty
if you look
good.
at the other cell line, treated exactly the same way. things look a little different.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
of the cells look pretty beaten up.
This is a very complex problem. And they make it sound like, oh, if you vitrify, everything would survive. That's not true. All
That's
they
not
say
true.
is one day it's possible. They just take people's heads and freeze it. The chances that you will bring the frozen head back is the same as when you go home tonight, open the freezer, get the ground beef out, and make a cow out of it.
Oh
So the
God!
chances
Don't look, Amos.
of getting that head back with intact memory is a ridiculous concept.
He said, "Getting a hamburger and making a cow. Let's go."
And when you do that, please call me. I want to see it.
Cryonics is beginning to gain traction, but it's still faced with many questions. Can reanimation and ultimately an unlimited lifespan be
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I never liked Vicks either. I can't do it.
achieved? What if these companies go bankrupt before the proposed technology
Here we go. See, these are the questions. If they go bankrupt, a war breaks out, freaking earthquake.
becomes available? Not to mention society's traditional outlooks on life and death. Regardless, a small group of forward-thinking individuals still believe they can overcome mortality.
Does it bother you that people have so much skepticism towards it?
Yeah, it does. It's emotionally difficult to be in a profession that everybody is so skeptical of. So I work through it. I just
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like if he honestly believes that, and I think he does. I mean, I really think he does. He's sitting in front of a giant tank of nitrogen. You know, I think he believes this, and that would be very frustrating. It's like those people. Well, never mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You agree? Yeah, of course. You know, yeah. Yeah, yeah, buying the property. What's in this tank? Oh my God!
Deal with it. But you really believe in it?
Oh yeah.
As I met more people involved with cryonics, I began to see how it was a deeply personal thing.
Yeah, it has to be a person. See, these people have issues. They don't let go. Like, you can't accept death because, that's a spiritual problem. And again, I don't mean that in like a religious way, although it is a religious thing. But this is like religions have a solution to this. Either, afterlife of some sort of reincarnation or something like that. Because you have that drive, and this is the same thing. I guarantee you these people, they just want to keep living because that's all they know, and they're so afraid to die that they'll do anything to continue living. And they just, it's an obsession. They can make a reality. Probably. No, you don't get a refund. No. That would be neat. Logic. Yeah. They could do like a storage wars. Yeah. Cryo crates. That's what it could be called. Nobody steal that. That's my idea. I'm going to call, Jeff. What's his name? Jeff, the guy. We're going to start a show called Cryo Crates. You get it though? It's understandable. Life is beautiful. Yeah. But people are, or they want to see a loved one again or something like that. They just can't let go, or, someone died, or my child died. We're going to freeze them. They're going to come back to life. I know it. Don't tell me otherwise. No, you're wrong. They're going to come back to life. We're going to be together again. I mean, they're holding on, Jeff Probst. Is that his name? Yeah, they open up a tank. It's like a loot box, but it's a cryo crate. You don't know what you're going to get. You could get the cat. You could get that 100-year-old woman. You could get freaking Ted Williams. You never know. And you can take them home,
It was a way for people to work through their fears, to
right?
Be part of a community. Matthew Sullivan has been in the cryonics business for over 12 years, helping to cryopreserve over 40 people.
Bro, I really think serial killers would love this. Like, serial killers would be all over this, man. Because in any other context, if you had this operation going in your basement, the FBI would be there so quick. If you're like getting people, cutting their heads off and freezing it in your basement in liquid nitrogen and monitoring the temperatures meticulously and keeping records of that, you're going to jail, you know? But you charge people $80,000 and you get a little hut in Arizona, all of a sudden, you know? They froze a dog too. They did, yeah. There was a picture of the dog, yeah. He's the host. Who's the other guy? I'm not killing anyone. I'm running a business here. I know. They could preserve you in bourbon. Yeah, right. Oh, man, bourbon's good.
9:53 a.m. If anything goes wrong, I think that you feel it.
Oh my God, is that a head?
Because you realize that could be you, or it could be somebody that.
I don't know, Amos. I don't know. Bro, y'all think they're gonna pull a head out? What's in that bucket? What's in that bucket, Joe? Dang.
That you love.
And you've handled love.
Oh.
Loved ones before.
Yes.
That's a brain, bro. That's somebody's brain. This is from the beginning. Okay, that's a high-tech bucket. Yeah, it doesn't even have like the air pressure things to get all the air out. It's just like a freaking Cool Whip container.
My father.
Your father.
Yeah. See, it's all personally. Oh my God, it's all personally connected. This dude is so far in that he's like, I held my father's brain in my hand. You're not convincing this guy otherwise. Like, I mean, he's in. Like, he's all in. You're not drunk enough for this. Well, I haven't been drinking. Normally I do have some wine on Friday nights, but I was feeling a little, I don't know. I've been feeling weird all day. I don't know. So I'm not having my wine tonight. But he murdered his father. No, I don't think so. You've seen some stuff in a lab. Brain would be mild. It's crazy what. Yeah, my my cousin is a mortician, and I've seen some stuff. And also, well, I can't say. Let's just say I have someone that's pretty. I know someone who's pretty high up in law enforcement with like forensics and stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting how they can science and what they do. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, that smile. Man, look at that. That dude's a boss. And now his brain. See this little fella right here? He held this guy's brain.
How did that make you feel?
It was.
Yeah. How did that make you feel? Well, as I was holding my father's brain in my hand, any other time, again, FBI open up. But, you know, with this,
Empowering in the sense of, giving my dad a second chance.
So did you have your dad's brain in your hands?
Yeah, I actually
Oh.
did physically hold
Oh,
my
God.
father's brain in my hands. Knowing that I
see, that can't be good. Does he take the brain out on his birthday every year? You know, like it doesn't seem like it's good. One, you freeze it, which is probably not good. Excuse me, you suspend it. And then you're going to take it out and just handle it, toss it around the room. Like, that doesn't seem, I don't know, man. What is this? It's got a little camera tripod. What are they? Oh, God. Yeah, how you doing, Dad? They have a cushion. Yeah.
did at least try to save his
I mean, it looks like they wrapped it up.
life, even if the chance was 1%, it gives me a sense of
Bro, that looked like a cooking pot.
feeling that, I tried to do something.
Hold on. Thomas L. Sullivan, First Life Cycle. Oh, First Life Cycle. Okay. 1948 to 2003. If I had a bunch of brains in my freezer in the garage, I'm going to jail. But this dude's got a brain. Man, I don't know, dude. Keeping someone's brain. I mean, it's no weirder than keeping their body, honestly. Yeah, nature calls. All right. Don't forget to wash your hands.
And there is a chance, even if it is a long shot.
All right, back in the tub.
Are you married?
Yeah.
How does your wife feel about this?
Oh, God. Oh, man. He does not have a supportive wife. Yeah. Are you married? Yeah. He's like, I'm getting cryopreserved, but my wife isn't. Oh, God. You think they started like Apple, just some dudes in his garage with cooking pots? He's like, yeah, Jim, I think we can really do something with this.
She doesn't agree.
Oh, God. She probably has a boyfriend. Man.
With me. So, but I mean, most people don't. You know, like I've tried to convince each of my grandparents as they've one at a time said no and died on me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have kids?
Yeah.
Do you want them to be chronically preserved?
Well, of course I do, but that'll be their decision when the time comes. They'll get older and make up their own minds.
Another dedicated cryonicist who's worked at Oregon Cryonics is the groundskeeper, Matthew Deutsch.
Oh, God.
I found out about the field when I was 15 and looking up documentaries on life extension. And then when I was 6.
Honestly, though, this young dude like this is the age when, you know, sure, it's okay to believe in this kind of stuff.
16, I came across an event, a meeting for young.
Bro, a long time ago, Yamki introduced me to this YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, where they interview all different kinds of people. And they interviewed a Klan member out in Alabama or somewhere. And he was like, he asked the dude, and man, we need to watch. I don't know if we can watch that. We may have to watch it on Discord. So he comes to this interview, and he's all decked out in his clown outfit, or his clown outfit. And I kid you not, it was a freaking like purple and pink KKK outfit. And he was sitting there talking about how bad gay people were. And I'm thinking, bro, anyway, the interview asked him, he was like, so how did you hear about the Klan or something? He was like, well, I was coming out of Walmart and I said, well, yeah, we should watch that. Mark was, yeah, you watch that too. Yeah, he's got some great stuff, man. He also interviewed the executioner. That was a good one.
Cryonics enthusiasts. The concept of no longer existing terrifies me.
Yeah, see, they're scared.
I don't want to just go to
See, he's a neuro member, so he's just he's not doing the whole body.
Sleep and not wake up. I want to actually have a good chance at reanimation and just continuing my existence. When I went to the Singularity Summit, and I just hit me. Cryonics musical.
Oh, God.
Cryonics is cool.
Oh.
Cryonics is cool. Don't be a fool.
See, he needs this. Like, he freaking needs cryonics. Oh, God. And this dude's just sitting here listening to it. And you know he didn't want to hear this. But he's sitting here having to listen to it because dude's like, you want to hear my musical?
Hop in a pool of LN2, and I'll see you in the future. I'll see you in the future.
Oh.
Bravo.
Okay. Oh, what is this?
A dear friend of his was one of the first patients to be cryopreserved at the facility.
Oh my God. What? This can't be good. Keep opening up the vats to show everybody? Yeah, he's like, this is wild. Who's in this? He's like, his friend was.
She had a neural vitrification on May 6th.
So it's a head. Okay, there's a head in there. He was a serial killer. I'm telling you, they'd be all over this.
2014.
Okay.
You do have a friend in here, correct?
Yes, my childhood dog, Cupcake. She was in terminal condition when I was offered employment here.
Y'all, I gotta go to bed. All right.
Do you ever walk by the canister holding her and like speak to her?
Sometimes I go there and have lunch by the canister.
When I was holding the frozen preserved brain of a dog named...
I bet that was something he never thought he'd say. When I was holding the preserved brain of a dog named Cupcake. Bro. It's Friday night? Yeah. Let's watch some more. Maybe.
Cupcake?
I questioned my life. That's what...
I realized how important cryonics is.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing. I mean, this isn't like... This is clearly a mental well-being for these people.
As a belief system that helps people cope with their loss and mortality. One based on science rather than visions of heaven or hell. The science questions I have about vitrification and memory are important, but what about the fear of death?
Is that
they get close
Cupcake?
to their loved ones.
That's the best picture they could find. God. Touching their brains as their fears calmed. Yeah.
Brains.
Yeah, that's Cupcake. Yeah.
As their fears are calmed. Matthew was so moved by the plight of his furry friend that he composed what he called a Cryonics rock opera.
Everyone tells me she'll always live in my heart.
Oh, God.
But I know better. Death is just the start.
They need to tune that.
Yeah, I am afraid of death in
Obviously.
all ways, and I will never
I'm so afraid of death that I opened up this whole facility.
give up. I think it makes my life safer. I behave a little differently than most people because I'm thinking about that all the time. I just want to yell at the entire world. Why don't you get it? You're going to die. Here's an option, the only option.
I mean,
So what do you think it's going to be like when someone actually like emerges and is reanimated? What do you think that moment will look like?
This is a grand experiment. I didn't know if it was going to work, but I made it. I think it would be a fantastic feeling.
What I like about cryonics is, again, I'm a scientist. I love the imagination, and that part I like. So I've spent 33 years of my day in, day out on thinking about how to freeze things, and I know it's not going to work.
Cryonics companies do come and go. And, we'll see if we stand the test of time.
yeah,
Make
I mean,
a
there's...
respectable profession.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. Remember, from the perspective of patients, waiting 100 to 1,000 years is about 2 seconds. Patient closes his eyes and then never opens them again, or opens them in the very next second. Probably the worst headache imaginable. I remember sleeping in Earth. How did I wake up on Mars? Yeah, I don't know. That's enough. Good night, Joe. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for the raid and the sub. I appreciate it. We'll catch you later. Ooh, how human hibernation could become reality. Joe's like, I'm out. Secret sex parties of the mega rich. Huh.